Okay, fifth graders, so homework tonight is called adding mixed numbers. I'm actually going to call this one 2 if you're looking it up, because you've already done number 1 quite a while ago. And so now we're just reviewing before we get to some of those big tests coming up. Make sure you remember how to do it. When we were doing this before, we made sure that we had common denominators. We practiced this in class a little bit too. And these can help you out. They're just kind of showing you some steps and some examples. So first we're going to find that common denominator, and I'm thinking you're probably already in your mind going, hey, our common denominator is 16. 8 times 2 is 16. 3 times 2 is 6. We can add them up. 15 plus 6 is going to equal 22, and then we keep our same denominator of 16. Now we need to change that because we've got an improper fraction. So we're going to be looking for this part right here where you take the whole number out. So we know that 16 over 16 would equal 1 whole. And then after we do that, we find out what's left. So 22 minus 16 is going to equal, let's see, 6. That's not right. That's what my calculator said. Okay, so it equaled 6/16. And remember, we took out 1 whole before when we took this out. So we've got 6 plus 2 is 8, plus that whole that we took out actually leaves us with 9. And 6/16. Whoops, I was going to circle it. I need to reduce it. So let's change it again, because I can reduce this, divide both of them by 2, and then I get 3/8. So 9 3/8 for a final answer. Again, a common denominator. We can multiply both of these by 4 over 4 and come up with 4/8. Now when I add them up, I get 9/8. I'm going to subtract 8 out of 8. A 1 I can take out, and then I end up with 1/8. And I had that 1 whole, so 12 plus 1 more makes it 13 and 1/8. A common denominator here would be 10, so let's change this. We'll multiply them both by 2 over 2 and get 6/10. 7 plus 6 is going to be 13/10. We'll take out 10/10 or 1 whole, and we end up with 3/10. And then we've got that whole, so 3 plus 1 whole equals 4 3/10. Common denominator, nice and easy, would be 9. And 3 times 3 is 9, 2 times 3 is 6. And 8 plus 6 is 14. So we'll end up with 14/9. We'll subtract a whole out of there. 9 over 9 will give us 1 whole. And we end up with 5/9. Plus that whole, so 7, 11, 12. 12 and 5/9 for that one. Moving it up. Common denominator here would be 12. We'll double it. 6 times 2 is 12. 5 times 2 is 10. Add them up and we get 17/12. We're going to subtract 12 over 12, or 1 whole, and we end up with 5/12, and we're going to have to count 2 plus this 1 whole makes it 3 and 5/12. Common denominator, we have to change both of them. So I usually take the bigger one and start thinking 7, double it, 14, won't work. 21 won't work. 28, so we'll just have to multiply by 4 over 4. This one will be by 7 over 7. And we'll come up with 64. What am I thinking? 24. I don't know what I'm thinking. 24 28 and 7 28, and 24 plus 7 is going to equal 31 28, and then if we subtract 28 28, we end up with 3 28, and we've got our whole number 5 plus 1 is 6, plus that one is 7. So 7 and 3 28. I'm running out of room to squeeze it in, but 7 and 3 28 there. Common denominator would be 15, so let's make this one 15. We multiplied by 3, so then that's 9. And then we have 20. 11 plus 9 is 20 fifteenths. We'll subtract 15 over 15 to get a whole number. And we end up with 5 fifteenths. Let's do our whole number and then we'll reduce. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 and 5 fifteenths. I should have left some room. And we can reduce that to, change it and just rewrite it. If we divide both by 5, 13 and 1/3. And 1/2 can also be written as 5/10. And then we end up with 12/10. If we subtract 10 over 10, we get 2/10. And then we'll do our whole number and we'll reduce. 7 plus 5 is 12, plus another one is 13. Feels like we just did that. 13 and 2/10. We had 13 in the last one. Did I do it right? 12, 13. Yep, 13 and 2/10, which can be written as 13 because we can reduce this. Divide them both by 2 and 1/5. If I did it right. If I didn't, I'm sure you'll tell me tomorrow. I'm in a bit of a hurry. I gotta go pick you guys up at prep from art in a minute. Okay, so 4 times 5 will give us 20. Let's make our common denominator 20 for this one. 3 times 5 is 15. 16 20ths should give us some common denominators we can work with, and we'll get 31 20ths. If I subtract 20 20ths, I get 11 20ths. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 and 11 20ths. This one, let's change this to 3/9. And then I can get 7 plus 3 is 10, so I get 10/9. If I take 9 out of 9 away, it should be a subtract, I get 1/9 left over. And I've got 7, 7, 14, plus 1 more is 15. 15 and 1/9. Common denominator here would be 14, so let's double it. 7 times 2 is 14, 6 times 2 is 12, 12 plus 5 is 17 14ths, and if I take 14 14ths out, I end up with 3 14ths. Am I still on camera? Yep, 3 14ths, and 7 plus this one makes it 8. 8 and 3 14ths. I'm going fast. I'm sure I'm going to make a mistake. I'm sure you'll tell me about it. Okay, so let's multiply by 3 over 3 here and get 9 12ths. 5 plus 9 is 14. 14 12ths. And then we'll subtract 1. 1 whole. 12 over 12 is 1 whole. We get 2 12ths, which we'll need to reduce in a minute. 8 plus this 1 whole makes it 9. 9 and 2 12ths. And we'll want to rewrite that as 9 and 1/6. Alright. Up here, we're going to change this to 14 tenths. Oh, it's an improper fraction to start with. 14 plus 2 will leave us at 16 tenths. And we'll take out 10 tenths, which will leave us at 6 tenths afterwards, which we'll reduce in a minute. Let's add our whole number, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 and 6/10, which we're going to want to rewrite because we'll reduce some. We'll divide them both by 2 and get 6 and 2. Oops, I didn't mean 2. I meant 3. 6 and 3/5 if we divide them both by 2. And a common denominator of 8 here. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 2 is 10. We've got the improper fraction again. 10 plus 3 is 13, so we've got 13/8. Take out 8 out of 8 for that whole number, and we end up with 3/8. And don't forget our whole numbers. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus this 1 makes it 5 and 3/8. And half is the same as 3/6. 8 plus 3 is going to be 11/6. Let's take out 6/6 here. And we get 5/6. I didn't leave much room for my whole number. 1 plus another 1 will make it 2 and 5, 6 for a final answer. We're getting there. Uh-oh, common denominator is not going to be easy to find. I think 21 will be the smallest, the least common denominator we can find. 7 times 3, 8 times 3 is 24. 3 times 7, 7 times 4 is 28. So we end up with 52 over 21. Wow, I think we can take 2 out for this one. Let me just double check my math here, because that seems really big. 7 times 4, yep. 8 times 3, 24, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. I did it. I think I got it right. And then let's take out 2 this time. So let's subtract 40, double it, 42 minus 42 over 42. And we get 10 over 21, and remember we took out 2 this time. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 and 10 over 21. Alright, thanks for working with me today.